Oh, hello there, and welcome to the Loki episode 4 spoiler review. Now, before we begin, some admin. Yes, these don't seem to be going over at all well, and I was under the mistaken impression that fans of this channel would be fans of Loki and Hiddleston, and they'd want to see me reviewing the Disney Plus show. But you don't. Most of you, seemingly from the comments, have no interest in the show. Quite a few of you don't want me to ruin anything, even though, as I'm sure everyone has worked out by now, my great gag is that I don't actually spoil anything. Most of you seemingly want me to do a cranial nerve exam or something like that. And David Bowie said that as soon as you start making stuff that you think your audience might like, that then signals the creative death of the artist. An artist should always be making something for themselves, and those are words to live by. As such, I'm going to just carry on doing this because I'm having a really nice time. That being said, this week's episode of Loki was, the reason I keep doing that is because Tom Hiddleston says the name of his character, Loki of Asgard. He does that kind of voice, and that's all I'm doing. It's just a stupid impression of him. But he, I really like the way in I think episode 1 even of this show, he just suddenly erupts with a very violent expulsion. He's threatening a worker by the name of Casey, and he says, "Give me the Tesseract, Casey, or I'll gut you like a fish." But he says it with such violence in his voice. I think that might be my favourite line from the entire show. He's just got such an angry face. It's very enjoyable. I could watch a whole series of Tom Hiddleston just being incredibly suddenly violent for no reason. It took me aback and I quite enjoyed it. Have you noticed, by the way, that I can't say the word Hiddleston? I managed it then, but I seem to... It's almost like a glottal stop kind of a problem. Do you know what a glottal stop is? It's when it's the sound I'm making there. I can't say glottal stop without sort of a cavity forming below my tongue. Glottal. It's one of the things that I don't like about my own voice. Generally, I quite like my voice, but I've got the glottal issue, and I also can't roll my R's. I can gargle. I'll do this away from the microphone. But that's sort of like a purr. But I can't Raymond. You know, with the tongue it's usually... I can't do that. I could do that, but my tongue doesn't move. See? Richard. Raymond Richard. ASMR. I wish I could roll my R's, but I can't. My tongue just doesn't want to work in that way. You're never too old to learn how to make new sounds, I suppose. But, I taught myself to waggle my ears quite late in life. I wasn't born with that ability, but I've learned how to do it now. So if I can exercise that muscle, then one would hope that I can figure out how to roll my R's one day, but we shall see. I will endeavour to keep you all updated on that. But yes, this episode this week, I couldn't find one specific thing to latch onto to keep my great gag going, which is spoiling one little thing that is sort of irrelevant to the plot. Last week's video I talked about the fact they were on a train. Had no real bearing on anything. But this week there's not anything that I can latch onto in the same way, which is a terrible shame for this video, but it did make for quite an enjoyable episode. There were several moments that I went, what the fuck? Just like that. What the fuck? And I am actually going to go into real, genuine spoiler territory here. So, if you are worried about ruining this, tough, here we go. The title of the video should have been a giveaway. That's all I can say. It's a spoiler review. Yes, they off Owen Wilson. Where did that come from? Then the timekeepers are fake android things. Okay, I don't really care about that. And also I found that I couldn't understand what they were saying. The mix of the volume or the effect on their voices was such a weird sort of effect that I have no idea. There's a bit of a conversation thing that happens. Couldn't tell you what was said. Bears no relevance to anything. Anyway, as they are dispatched within moments. And then Loki, Tom Hiddleston. If I do this with my neck and sort of lean into the word, I can say Hiddleston. He's also killed. Or so we think, because, even more of a spoiler alert, there is a mid-credits, end-credits, mid-end credits extra bit of footage this week, which is well worth a watch, because Richard E. Grant appears out of nowhere wearing green and yellow spandex, and it is truly glorious. So that's the spoilers out of the way for you there. Sorry. But, yes, nothing really to make a joke of this week. It was pretty enjoyable, really, for anyone who cares about, for anyone who's watching the show and is enjoying it for the, the high carb snack that it is. You know, you feel empty after about half an hour, but at the time, well, it's delicious. Yeah, it's just a pretty good episode. Although it does slightly suffer from the same thing that all Marvel, Disney Marvel TV shows suffer from, which is that just make it a film. Why did you make it a TV show? This is like the last bit of the second act of a movie. So it's not its own self-contained episode, it's just, okay, we're watching a film, 40 minutes at a time each week. Which is, maybe it's a damning indictment on the start-stop nature of how we consume media in this fast-paced digital world. Or not. But at least I didn't watch it on my phone. Although I did watch last week's episode on an iPad. But what are you going to do? I watched the week before's episode on a cathode ray tube television, so, just running the gamut of... this week's episode I watched on a 4K TV. Not to brag, but I finally caught up to where everyone else was about 5 years ago, and I bought it, or maybe even longer, and I bought a 4K TV, not a 5K TV. Don't even know if that's a thing that you can buy. I bought a 4K TV last year. I've had it for a year. It's scratched already, and the backlight is looking a bit... I only paid £200 for it, but the picture quality is mostly gorgeous. And please never send me back to 1080 full HD. I can't go back there. But yes, I've actually got half a plan to do another video tomorrow, which will be, well, it'll be today by the time I finally get around to putting this video up. But tomorrow, right now, is July the 1st. Which is probably today, or if you're watching this in the far future, ages ago, and it's irrelevant. But on July the 1st, I'm planning on cancelling my basically unused, free for over a year now, Apple TV Plus subscription, because, one, I don't really use it, and I don't want to pay for it going forwards. Don't watch anything on it. But two, I bought some of the now discontinued Apple HomePods for the Apple TV Home Cinema Surround Sound Dolby Atmos experience that you could allegedly get for, if you set it up correctly. And I was terribly dismayed to find, after spending all that money on that setup, that the Apple TV Plus app itself is out of sync with the HomePods. There's a latency issue because, of course, Apple, in their infinite wireless wisdom, decided not to include any aux-in cables or any line-out or line-in cables at all for the HomePod. It's all wireless AirPlay or whatever they call it, which I've not had a lot of success with that, which is a shame. But there is a new Apple TV that you can buy, the second generation Apple TV 4K, which apparently, through something called ARC or EARC, and I think my 4K TV has one of those things, I can play, so they tell me, Blu-ray discs through the TV and have the sound come out of the HomePods, which would be amazing if it worked. I don't think it's going to work. And also I don't have that kind of Apple TV. I've got the older one, which doesn't do that. So at the minute, the thing that I've got is only good for playing sound on my 4K telly out of the HomePods if you're watching the Apple TV itself, except if you're using the Apple TV Plus app, which is not in sync, which is really stupid. But anyway, I was thinking about making a video about my cancelling my subscription tomorrow, because I don't think this video is boring enough. But I have thought of another video idea that I could do. Let me know your feedback, your thoughts on this. I have had in the past, long before I started this channel, some work done on my teeth. You know, they didn't used to look like this. They were quite crooked, and I've had them straightened. And maybe I could do some kind of dentist, I'm not going to say role play, but role play, some kind of dentist role play. And the reason I thought that is that, if you bear with me a second. Before I had my teeth straightened, they took moulds of what my teeth used to look like, and I have the moulds here. If we can get that into focus, you can see my teeth were quite crooked before, but lovely and straight now. And I was thinking maybe I could do something with these. There you go, see, look how. Oh my, all over the shop. True English teeth. But yes, I was thinking I could do something with that. We will see. Those just sit on my desk staring at me. A lovely reminder of the face I used to have. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. But as for my usual joke for this week, there wasn't really anything to make fun of, unfortunately. Wumi Masaku, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name there, turns in quite a bravura performance. Really enjoyed her. I think she's a local girl, actually. I think she grew up in Manchester, which is where I am. I'm not from Manchester, but I live here, and I've lived here for a while. And I'm pretty sure she went to school with at least one or maybe two good friends of mine. So, not that I don't know that they're still in touch with her. That was 20 years ago. They probably, haven't kept in touch, maybe. Or maybe they've got each other on Facebook. I've no idea. But yeah. Any other news? Oh, today I woke up to a very unfortunate text message this morning from the UK track and trace app that says I have to self-isolate for 4 days because apparently I've been in contact with someone who has tested positive for the corona bug, but I have done a lateral flow test today and it's negative, so I'm fine, but I should just stay indoors for a few days anyway, which is fine. I didn't really have any plans. I was mostly going to stay indoors anyway, so that's alright. Doesn't affect me. Excuse me. Yeah, sort of a rambly nonsense this week, and not so funny. I should wrap it up now. We've hit the 20-minute mark. But anyway, I'll catch you all at some future date, I'm sure. In the meantime, bye.